We are educators who don't take our careers for granted. We've been colleagues for a long time, but one thing that makes our relationship unique is that we're also sisters.
We're blood sisters, not just really close friends. We wish everybody had the opportunity to work with their sister because we feed off one another's energy and creative ideas, but more importantly, we give each other courage. Courage to take risks, be vulnerable, lead a spark session. But that's one of the things that we wanted to talk to you today. You may not have an opportunity to work with your sister, but we encourage you to find your person that can be that inspiration for you. These are 3 things that we think are at the heart of personalized learning and why it's so effective. And those are relationships, resources, and relevance. Scientists say that our need to connect is as fundamental as our need for food and water. This is why most of us became teachers. We wanted to make connections with learners and make a difference. The research also says that no significant learning cannot happen without a significant relationship. All children that walk into our classrooms want to be validated. In the words of Oprah, they want to know, do you see me? Do you hear me? Does what I say matter to you? There's no better way to validate a child than by letting them have voice and choice in their learning. We think that it is our role as teachers to shine a light on each and every one of our students. Shine a light so bright that it outshines their weaknesses. And we can do that by tapping into their interests, passions, and talents. When we began to do that in our classroom, new connections were formed. Learners that sat on the edge of the classroom quietly suddenly were seen in a new light. They started to see one another as resources and experts, and started to realize that the teacher wasn't their only learning partner in the room. Personalized learning allows us to form relationships with students and to utilize them as resources.
Another one said, boredom is a sign one loses capacity for awe, wonder, and delight. And for most of my career as a student, I focused much of what I did around compliance. I was really good at writing my name legibly and getting a syllabus turned in, signed on time. I was a master of filling out worksheets, and I became really good at extra credit. But I never really saw the relevance in my learning. The insight and creativity that I had to offer was stifled by this innate desire to want to comply. And I see the same thing happening with learners today. So take Elise, one of my former learners. From last year, she was tasked with showing that she understands rhetoric by researching a controversial topic and putting together a persuasive speech, delivering it in front of class. So we're in there working, brainstorming, and end of day 1 brainstorm, she comes up to me, Mrs. Liu, I have my topic. I was like, awesome, Elise, what is it? She's like, I'm gonna research how schools are getting worse. I was like, oh. So I processed that for a second. I said, tell me more about your thinking, Elise. Tears are starting to well up and roll down her cheeks. And she said to me, look, just give me the packet. I hate all this choice. I don't want this choice. Give me the packet so I can just get it done, okay? So I processed by going to grab her a Kleenex, and I walked back and I handed to Elise. I said, Elise, you want to go out to LA, right, and design your own clothing line? Head shake, yes. Tears. Do you want somebody to tell you the colors, the fabrics, the styles that you should put into your fashion line? Then Elise, me giving you a packet isn't going to help you get to LA. And our conversation evolved into her thinking about topics within the fashion industry that she could research. And in the end, she gave a fantastic speech on how she was against cosmetic surgery. And initially, after she could get over her need to be compliant and fill out a packet, her agency just exploded. And she came up with things she didn't realize she could in the past. Her insight, her awe, her wonder came through. And she wasn't the only learner in the classroom that day who found their pathway, who found something relevant and delivered that to each unique individual that made up the fabric of our learning community. They heard each other, they saw each other, and what they said mattered. And that is the humbling result of a community of learners who are engaged in the learning process. So our hope for you today as you navigate this conference is to build relationships, find resources, and seek relevance so that you can go back to your learners with this new school year and continue to inspire them and to help them find their purpose. Thank you.